Alright guys, so I totally get it. In my last video, I came out talking about this lens here, an 85 1.8 by Sony that I absolutely love, but I call this a cheap lens, and you guys made it loud and clear that y'all don't consider this to be cheap, which I totally understand. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 10 accessories that I use with my Sony a7 III that all come in at under $100. So hopefully this will help you guys add some new stuff to your camera to get more out of it. What's good, creative fan? Brandon Washington here, and first of all, if you're brand new to the channel, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button because this channel is all about filmmaking gear, tips, and tutorials. But in today's video, we are going to be looking at these 10 accessories that I use with my a7 III almost on a daily basis. Now, the whole point of this video is to give you guys a couple accessories that you can add to your kit that can really help enhance what your camera's already doing. Now, before we get started, all links to all these products that I'm going to mention are going to be down in the description below. On top of that, my hoodies are back on sale, so if you guys didn't get a chance to cop those the last time I ran them, you can definitely do that now. Links to that will also be down below. And for some of these accessories, I've already done full videos on, but if there's one that I haven't done a video on that you'd like to see one on, definitely leave those information down in the comments. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into these accessories. Alright, so the first accessory I want to look at is my battery grip. Now, this is the MCO battery grip, and this is honestly a super inexpensive grip that you can find on Amazon. Now, I absolutely love this grip. I've been shooting with it, and it especially comes in handy when taking photos. It also gives you that additional grip you need for your fingers because it's really, really nice to have that extra grip because the Sony is like just one finger shy from being that perfect grip. But this thing works phenomenally. It allows you to add 2 batteries into your camera, and I can legitimately say with having this battery grip, it will allow you to have a full day's worth of shooting on your Sony a7 III. Now, moving on into batteries, Sony did come out with some new batteries for the a7 III, which are phenomenal, but they can be kind of pricey. So I decided to go with these RAV power batteries. You actually can get 2 of these with the dual charger for under $100, which I think is definitely a steal. I have used these not only directly in the camera, but with the battery grip, and I've had no issues whatsoever. You get a full readout on there, and honestly, they seem to last just as long as the native Sony batteries. Now, if you want to step up your power even more, I've got this awesome little power brick that I can plug directly into the camera. Due to the fact that the Sony a7 III has a USB-C port, you can just use a basic USB-C cable directly into the power brick, into the camera, and you can actually be charging or powering your camera directly off of this power brick. Now, moving on from power, there were a couple little things that I don't like about the camera, but I figured out some fixes for. So the first is that this camera does not have a flip out screen. Now, obviously we like it for vlogging purposes, but the other reason why I like flip out screens is because you can actually flip the camera screen around and kind of protect it. So without having that as an option, I actually had to reach out for some screen protectors. Now, this is the exact same thing I did with my 1DX Mark II, and so I went with these cheap, inexpensive little screen protectors. Now, they seem to work perfectly. They give you a couple of them inside the package. They're super easy to install, and honestly, I recommend them hands down. Now, the next little annoyance I have with the a7 III is these little dangly things that come on the side. They make tons of noise, and they're not really easy to kind of put a strap onto your camera. So I decided to go with these Peak Design kind of anchor straps, and you can actually attach these to the existing Sony strap, and it makes it a whole lot easier to put your strap on and off the camera. On top of that, when you're not using a strap, these don't make a whole lot of noise, and they're awesome if you have to vlog and don't have to worry about those little dangly things messing up your audio. Now, moving on into memory. Now, when it comes to memory, the Sony can actually take one SDXC2 card, and so I definitely recommend having at least one of these in your kit. Now, the reason why I recommend having these is not only is it going to give you the fastest read and write speeds, but if you want to do things like burst shooting, you're absolutely going to need one of these if you don't want to have to wait for your images to buffer and kind of write to the card. So I recommend picking up at least one of these. Now, you can pick up a 32 gig for less less than $100 and they actually are gonna work perfectly fine. However, I did pick up a 64 gig. It does come in at a little bit over $100, but I definitely think that if you can't get your hands on a 64 because it's just out of the price range, it is still worth it to at least have a 32 in there for when you want to do some burst type mode photography. Now, a regular SDXC card is going to work perfectly fine too, so don't feel like you have to get one of these, but I do recommend at least picking up a 32 if you're in that situation. Now, probably one of my most favorite sleeper accessories that I've gotten is actually this little SD card reader. Now, this is a UNI or Uni SD card reader. Now, it's not only a SD card reader, but it's also a micro SD card reader, and it plugs in directly via USB-C. Now, this is phenomenal because of one, how small it is, and it has a nice braided cord, so I feel really comfortable knowing that it's not gonna get messed up or not work, but it also has really fast write speeds. I can not only plug it directly into my MacBook, but if I ever pick up the brand new iPad Pro, because that's also USB-C, I'm happy to know that I can plug this directly into the iPad Pro, and that's gonna work great too. The last little accessory when it comes to the SD card is this little SD card holder. I think you should definitely go ahead and just pick up one of these. They're super inexpensive. This one actually comes in at under 15 bucks. You can get the Pelican one that's a little over $20, but honestly, this one here works great. It not only will hold your SD cards, but it'll also hold your micro SD cards, especially if you're someone who shoots on drones or GoPros. All right, now this next accessory is one that by far I think that anyone who is editing 4K footage should definitely consider. Now, these little SSDs are a lifesaver. I edit all my videos off of these, not only because they're so small and portable, but because of the fact that they're SSDs, they're incredibly fast. If you're editing lots of 4K footage and you are putting this onto a regular hard drive, you should definitely consider upgrading to one of these. Now, right now, Amazon has these on sale. You can actually pick up the Samsung one for like $97, and you can pick up the SanDisk one for $99. Now, I personally have two of the Samsung ones because I love these things so much, but I'm actually gonna pick up the SanDisk one here really soon because it's a little bit smaller. It has this nice little clip on it, which I'm excited about. So I'm definitely gonna be picking up one of these very soon because, like I said, these are currently on sale. So definitely go ahead and grab one of these because right now they're both under $100. And last but certainly not least is my cage. Now, recently SmallRig reached out to me and they actually sent me this cage for me to show you guys. Now, this cage comes in at under $100, but there are a lot of accessories you can add on to it to really turn this from a very basic cage into a full-fledged production type setup. Now, you can get completely crazy with how you want to configure this thing, whether you're having rails, batteries, monitors, side grips, everything. I mean, it can get completely nuts, but the base cage does start at $100, which I think is a great starting point. You want to get some type of a cage on here because it not only gives you options, but it's also just a great protector for the camera. So I do recommend having a cage on it, and trust me, I'll be doing a full video on this cage breakdown. It's taken me a lot to get this thing exactly the way that I want it, and I personally think I finally got it there, but I'll let you guys know how it all works, all the pieces that I got, and everything that I did to make this happen in a full video if you guys are interested. So there you have it, guys. That is 10 accessories for under $100 that you guys could pick up today for your Sony a7 III. Now, if you are interested in any of these, like I said, I will have links to everything down below in the description. Make sure you guys are on the lookout for my video that I will be dropping tomorrow, going through some of the hot Black Friday filmmaking and photography sales that are coming out. You're not gonna wanna miss that video because I've been working on this list telling you guys where to go to get the best gear, whether you're shooting on Sony, Canon, or you're just looking for additional accessories, because there are some really good sales out there, especially if you are a beginner photographer, videographer. Black Friday is definitely the time to go in and get some sales, get some camera gear at some very reasonable prices that not only are gonna be great for you today, but they'll be great for you long term. So there you have it, guys. Let me know if there's any accessories that you guys are currently using that are under $100. Share those down below in the links. Don't add like actual URLs because YouTube will block that immediately. So if there is something that you guys are looking at that's under $100, just go ahead and type in the name of it, and then I'll try to add that into the comments. But thank you guys again so much for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.